This is Tim Nagy with Nagy Customs. Today we're going to be installing the injection molding rings. Doing a video on how to install them. First off, this is what's going to come with the kit. You're going to get, of course, a set of rings. You're going to get 220 milliliters of Panabon, 2 tips. You're going to get your mounting screws, 1/8 drill bit, some more mounting screws. You're going to get your bracing to go from the ring to the outside of the bag, and also 2 mounting screws for the bracing itself. So to get into this, first thing that we're going to do is, of course, you want to take up the bag. You don't want to mess up a paint job. So we're going to lay the ring in here. What I'm going to do first is take a gray Sharpie, or just something that you can see. You want to make sure that the ring's down at the bottom, and I'm going to outline the outside of the ring. And there you go. So I'm going to have this outline here. Next thing I'm going to do is take my 1/8 inch drill bit. It's going to come supplied for you. And I'm just going to drill a hole right here in the center. Center. I'm going to put the ring in the bag. Should be on the center of that ring now. You're just not drilling into it blindly. So you have a center mark there, a center mark there. Go ahead. That one, this one. We're going to be using this later. Now you will need a larger drill bit for this part of it. That is not supplied. So what do I do on the inside of the inside here? I'm going to drill small holes all the way around. So we're going to finish this line off here. It's about a 3/8. Okay, so what you're going to do is drill all around here. So we're going to finish drilling this out, and we'll be right back with the next step. Alright, so now we have it, all the holes drilled out. Now we're pretty much just going to connect the dots. Here I use a multi-tool. You can use a jigsaw, just go around it, connect all the dots. As you can see, I just came to the outside. I come a little bit further out because when I put the panel bond in, it is going to squish out to this side. I can use a flush mount router trip bit to actually clean all that up. So I'm going to go ahead and start cutting this out. this in here. I have a little bit of a lip that we'll just have to trim off. So next thing we're going to do is scuff the face of the ring, and we're going to scuff the bag. And I scuff everything from this line in, and then of course scuff all the mounting surfaces. Couple ways you can do it: piece of sandpaper, just scuff it all up really good. Or we have here is, we'll use this guy so we can just make it a little bit quicker. There you go. That's all scuffed up, prepped, and ready to go. Alright, we got everything sanded up, so now what I'm going to do is secure the adapter to the bag. Now I'm going to take a 1/8 inch drill bit. Do a hole right here, because when we panabond it, we want the whole ring being pulled down to the bag. So that way now we have three screws to pull this down to the bag. Go ahead and pull these out. And now we're going to start panabonding. So, alright, so now we're going to panabond it. Just a small bead around here. So we're going to do want to wear gloves when you're doing this too. I'm going to go ahead and throw this back in the bag. Take our screws, and now we're just going to screw it in, and this is going to pull the ring to the bag. And we're going to do one more at the bottom. Alright, and this is where I would go through, and we're going to fill any extra types of gaps or anything here. isn't very many. Just move all this out. There you go. And then you're going to let this dry for a few hours, and then we're going to get on to getting it routed out. Alright, so took a little time. The panel bond's all dry now. And the reason why I leave this little bit here, because I'm going to catch all this with the flush mount router bit. It's going to knock most of that down. Again, flush mount router bit, you always want to make sure you have a nice new bearing on it. You don't want to drag it across there, because it will either one fall off and you'll create a mess, or it'll just lock up and it'll be another mess. So we're going to go ahead and get this trimmed out here. You just want to apply outward pressure on the ring using the bearing. So get that going. Down. As you can see, I put tape on here because I'm going to actually sand this inside out, and I'm actually going to hit it with some primer so that it can make it look nice and neat. So we'll go ahead and get that sanded down, painted up, and we'll be right back with what it looks like afterwards. Alright, so we got it all sanded up, so when we're finished with it and we paint it, it's going to look nice and neat. Alright, the next thing that comes in the kit is your bracing. So you'll get 2 bracing. You will have to cut to length. One of them we've already cut. So you'll get your 2 screws and how the bracing goes in. So basically what I do is I lay it in like this. I take and I mark it, then I just cut it to length. So, yep, put the stake here, you know, about halfway. I'll just put a mark right at the edge of the ring. There. You can either cut it on a table saw, band saw, chop saw. I use my multi-tool. Alright, then we're going to pull this back a little bit here, and we're going to attach it to the ring on the outside of the bag. Again, any surfaces that touch, you want to sand and prep. So, and you just want it to be a nice snug fit in there. And what I do on this one here, I drill a hole through the edge of the ring. Through the dowel. Then you're going to countersink this back hole. This is kind of a crazy so you're just going to countersink this. So when you put this screw in, it's going to sit flush to this, so it doesn't actually lift up the basket. There you go. And put away the panel bond. Alright, then we're going to put panel bond on this side here. Panel bond it to this side of the bag. Alright, and once you get it panel bonded in, let that dry. And then we'll install the speaker. So we'll give that a little bit to dry, and then we'll get the speaker in. Alright, so we got it, all the paint pulled off. Again, bags used, but I did want to show you. So on this, I always sand this down, I paint it. It's just my personal preference. I keep the back taped up so you don't get paint all on the inside. Again, personal preference if you want to make it look finished or not. So we're going to go ahead and install the rest of the screws on the outer edge. Now that we got it routed out, you'll be able to tell where the edge of it is. Comes with enough to put eight screws. I like to make it symmetrical. Again, personal preference. Learn how you want to put them in. after we do this, we'll talk about the trimming of the ring if you need to, what speakers fit, what may not. So inside here you'll see that there's a small, so this actually can be taken down. This is 9.3, so this will fit bigger baskets. The through hole is a standard 9-inch. So we have a ground zero. So we have the ground zero, as you can see. You try to put it in, the basket's a little too big, so it's not quite 9.3, but it's not 9. So you would have to actually sand out a little bit on the inside of this. If we made it for a little bit bigger, then you wouldn't be able to fit nominal size mid basses in. This is the only speaker that I know of on the market that's currently that basket size. We do try to make something for everybody, you know, or make it as easy as possible. For this one, we're going to be installing the RS350. So I go ahead and set it in. You want to be careful of where you put that bolt there for the bracing. So here, you know, just make sure you clock your terminals whichever way you want to clock them. So here we're going to do just towards the back of the bag. 1/8" drill bit again. Mark out all your holes. Basket out, or the speaker out, and then you're gonna go ahead and drill all the way through. Got your speaker back in. There you go. So that's pretty much how to install this speaker ring. We will have these on the website tomorrow. Well, it depends on which day you're watching this, but we will have these on the website here shortly and ready for sale. Again, you get the rings, the bracing, all the hardware, the panel bond, the instructions. It'll be a QR code that's actually you just scan with your phone. It takes you over to YouTube to show you this video on how to install this. If you guys have any questions, get a hold of me, 313-303-1243, or you can visit the website, Nagy, Nagycustom's.com. Thanks.